You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
I'm Stephen Cabral. Today on our Training Thursdays show, it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be talking about a piece of equipment that you probably used when you were a child, but just pushed it aside and haven't used it maybe in a few decades or so. So honestly, this is a piece of equipment anyone could use. It really is. And I'm going to say that, and here's the reason why. You know, we have people in our actual, like the training side of our wellness practice who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. We actually have a 101-year-old client. And you could use this piece of equipment, and it comes with a little bar to hold on to, and you would get absolutely fantastic benefit. One of the main reasons we even use it with our older population of clients is because it works for things like bone density, coordination, neuromuscular stimulation, which is just a fancy way of saying you're working on balance. So you're working on fall prevention. Now, for everyone else, it could be for, again, all of those things because they're so important, but also for boosting your metabolism, using it for fat burning, using it as an interval, strengthening your calves, your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, your core, all of those things. So the thing that I'm talking about right now, this piece of equipment is called a rebounder, but you probably know it by a different name, and that's as a trampoline. So a trampoline is that thing that you just bounce up and down on. Usually it's kind of like this black mesh thing connected on all sides in a circle. Could be a square, but most of the ones they sell are circles, probably for safety reasons as well. Now, a lot of times they're those huge ones. They're like 15 feet in diameter. You have them outside in the backyard. And then, though, they have the home base ones. So they have ones that are just about 3 feet wide. They're amazing to use inside. We have them in our studio, and they're great to work on just kind of jumping up and down. I want to go through today. This article's been around for a long time, and the credit goes to, I want to give it to the correct person, but it says here by Dr. Morton Walker and Albert Carter. So I printed this article exactly 10 years ago for my wellness and weight loss, the first studio on Tremont Street in Boston. And so what it is, though, is it's 33 fascinating ways the body benefits from rebound exercise, because I honestly believe that everyone should and can benefit from this little thing called a rebounder. And I'll link up in the show notes today too, where you can buy one really inexpensively. It takes about 10 minutes to put together, and you can store it on its side so it doesn't really take up any room at all. So if you have a basement, you have any place like that, you can certainly use this. And a lot of gyms are putting them in now, and gyms are even doing aerobics-based classes, or basically group classes on these things called rebounders. So trampolines, whenever I say rebounder, I really mean a small trampoline. So let's go through all the different reasons. Now, some of them are just, I'm not going to read them out loud because of how they're actually written, but I'm going to try to put them in a normal way. So one of the things is when you jump up and down, it increases the G-force, so the gravitational load on the body. This actually strengthens your muscles without having to add any weights in your hands, and it improves that nervous system. So rebounding also protects the joints from overuse or fatigue, meaning like you're jumping up and down, but you're jumping on a softer surface. So kind of an equivalent to this would be doing jump rope or jumping jacks, but with this, every jump when you're coming down, you're actually landing and cushioning, you're pressing down a few inches before you get pushed back up. So rebounding also helps with the overall body composition by improving your muscles. So you can actually gain some muscle tissue, which is a good thing, and that obviously helps boost your metabolism. So here we go. One of the big reasons that I use the rebounder is because it stimulates your lymphatic system. Now, yesterday, hopefully you tuned into the cellulite cure, or how to get rid of your cellulite, and I talked about how one enormous thing that people are missing is that your lymphatic system has so much to do with cellulite. And then once you fix that lymph system, once you get it drained, you're going to get those improvements. So Other reasons as well is it improves circulation, which means you're going to get more oxygen moving in your tissues, so you're going to get more energy. It establishes better equilibrium between the tissues themselves and pulling in oxygen and giving off carbon dioxide. So it improves your respiration. It reduces arterial pressure. It lessens the time that the blood pressure would remain basically abnormal, like too high at a time versus too little, meaning like if you do a really heavy squat, it would go up for a higher period of time and then come back down, not with rebounding. It assists with heart-based issues because it strengthens the heart. It improves red blood cell and red bone marrow production. It helps with blood sugar-based issues. Just most of this, again, and some of it's related to exercise in general. Normal blood volume. It helps strengthens the heart. I'm reading from a list here, and this list you're going to get when just going to the show notes page for this episode, which I believe is 222. I'm never looking at the actual number of it when I'm recording. Yes, 222 today. And so again, you can just print this out if you'd like. And there's a lot of health practitioners who listen to the Cabral concept. Please do feel free to print this out as well and use it for your clients, because this is my podcast. I'm giving the information. Feel free to obviously share this podcast with your clients as well, but you can just print this out and share it to your clients too, because the information is not mine alone. So rebuilding, it talks about how it benefits the alkaline reserve of the body. And why would this happen? Well, what it's doing is more so to do with, again, cellular respiration, moving minerals in and waste out. That just helps so much. Plus, when you look at oxygen is obviously going to be a little bit more alkaline, whereas carbon dioxide will be a little bit more acidic. It works with your balance in the actual brain center and responsiveness to inner air-based, imbalance-based issues. I think that's really important. Some people with vertigo, again, if you have vertigo really bad, of course, you're not going to be doing this. But if you suffer with it from time to time, a lot of rebounders come with a little pole that you hold onto, and that can be really beneficial. Again, if you're not steady on your feet, it can be great for anyone. So don't feel free that if you don't feel comfortable bouncing up and down without it, just feel free to hold on in the beginning. That's a great way to do it. Improves digestion and elimination-based processes because of the movement and flow and the peristaltic wave in your digestive system and your gut. Great for relaxation. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I think you'll laugh. You'll enjoy yourself. Kind of gave away the last one, which is rebounding is enjoyable. But, it really is. It's a lot of fun to do. And a lot of times when you're just kind of bored of your same exercise, go through your workout, do what you need to do, but then in the end, hop onto this rebounder. It's a lot of fun. It's also a great way to warm up, but I like it as an interval at the end. You can bounce up and down for 30 seconds at a time, and that could be a great interval in of itself. What else? It's been shown to slow down the aging process because of entropy and a lot of other things going on with the cell. And again, it helps with detoxification. And overall, I believe it's a great way to not only stimulate the nervous system, but the skin itself, because of the G-force, the gravitational pull. So that can be a fantastic thing for youthfulness. And so, again, it's fun, it's easy to use, it's inexpensive, it gets that lymph system working, great for detoxification, good for digestion, and good for just having a laugh and enjoying yourself and smiling. And sometimes that's just as important when you're working out. And NASA even uses it on their spacecrafts, and as well as, I guess, the spacecraft, space shuttles, and the space station, because, it's a great way to, again, stimulate those muscles when there's not a lot of force being generated against them. They use it in training and then while in space, I believe, as well. So great uses, great research on rebounding as well. So, of course, fun for your kids, but it should be fun for you as well. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into another Cabral concept. And please tune in tomorrow, where I'm reviewing some great books and supplements. And so our Friday review, also one of my favorite episodes to do during the week. So, again, thank you for tuning in to another Cabral concept. I want to sincerely thank you for your support of this podcast. I couldn't do it without you, and I mean that. I truly do. I also want to make sure you knew that we now have multiple ways for you to find your answers to the most difficult health, wellness, weight loss, and anti-aging questions. You can find podcast-specific topics like thyroid, adrenal, hormones, sleep, digestion, Ayurveda, and many more at stevencabral.com/podcasts that will then link you to your favorite Apple, Spotify, and other podcast players. Plus, all new podcasts and weekly exclusive video content is being added to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Stephen Cabral. And that's Stephen with a PH. Head on over and subscribe so that you don't miss any of the exclusive content. Lastly, if you've ever found any of my podcasts or books to be helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a review on iTunes or your favorite media player for the podcast. Rating and subscribing to the YouTube and podcast allow me to reach more and more people and help spread my mission of healing throughout the world. Thank you again for being a part of this movement.